Hi, my name's Zaire. I'm Chief of Vibes at Love Circular, where we grow designers at the moment from no experience to junior designers, or in some cases, senior designers. We do that within 97 days, I believe, and we've done it for a while now, 18 months. Today, we're currently working on our Student Design Challenge. It's a new challenge for our community. The objective is for our community to take on a brief that we deliver within our Slack channel, and from there we'll be able to give people a new project to work on the side while they're building out their design portfolio. And as a result, they can win a £50 gift voucher. Is it £20, £30, and £10, or is it? I don't know the prizes. I just know the top prize is £50, so it's not bad, isn't it? Today I'm going to be presenting with Raya, one of our instructors, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Raya. As I mentioned, I am one of the instructors here at Love Circular, and I will be joining him in reviewing some awesome student work for the All Black Everything Challenge. So yeah, let's jump in.
Now, I'm going to preface this. I'm terrible at reading, but I'll do my best. So this person said, "Hey everyone, here's what I did for monthly challenge, theme All Black Everything. I decided to center my design around books as I read a lot more books this year. Oh, as I've read a lot more books this year by all by Black authors. I told you I'm terrible at reading, but we're going to get through this. Have faith. The concept is a social reading app where you can discover Black authors, have clubs and discuss books, create challenges and read within the app. You can also keep track of books you've read and make purchases. I designed a few screens: Spotlight, which shows book recommendations; Clubhouse, where you can find all the clubs you're a part of and discover new clubs; your library search results. I created both a lighter dark mode version. I'd love to get some feedback.
I really like this. I think it's a really, really cool design, and I love that the splash screen has been included, and there's been some thought into the brand identity as well. Me personally, as I like to read, well, not so much lately, but I like to read. So I think this one's quite relatable for me. So I think it's really cool. I think from a story perspective, I definitely feel as if this person has painted a really good picture. I think the rationale makes sense. Yeah, Zaire, what do you think?
I'd like to believe I'm an avid reader. I even have a book notes on my website, and I think this is a perfect type of product for myself. I don't know many Black authors, so straight away I believe it does solve a really cool problem. As well as that, having the clubhouse aspect of things where you can actually join some sort of social club. It's a really cool project. I think the use of colors are nice in terms of accessibility. I think this designer has done a really good job at the top section of things. It's really clear. The buttons are, if I'm correct in my guess, I believe they're of a decent size, at least above 38, 40 pixels in height. So they should be reachable and easy to touch. The chevron on the right here, I believe it could just be a bit where the designer may have missed. The text here could do with being a bit bigger, especially because these are iOS. If I'm correct, Apple's human interface guidelines want you to put any body text. I believe it's 16.
Yeah, 16. Yeah.
Is it still 16?
Yeah.
And small text, it can be around 10 or 8 or 10, but in the odd scenario.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. That text could definitely come up in size. And I actually missed that chevron before. I actually missed it.
There you go. I think they've done really well in terms of consistency. That's something that, especially when you're starting out, it's really hard to get down, like consistency and even symmetry.
I would say in terms of accessibility, maybe a 4. I would say, because I think minus the bit that you mentioned, I think accessibility is a really, really strong point, because even where we've got Spotlight, Clubhouse and Messages, I definitely feel there's definitely enough room between each of those buttons, just so you're not like double clicking or anything like that. So I would say a 4.
Yeah. In terms of visual design, I want to give them points for doing a light and dark mode as well. I'll definitely give some points for that, because that takes some guts. I can't lie, dark mode scares me. I think they've done a really good job. If there were some things that I'd pick up on visual design, I'd say symmetry in terms of this side of things, just tighter along the same y-axis, just making sure it's all aligned, play around with the typography. So bold titles a bit more to create even stronger contrast. These aren't things that, are negative. So my side of things, there'll be suggestions. Something like this, I guess the 8-point grid system could be helpful for even emphasizing space, and this person's done a really good job. So yeah, I'd say a 3.5 for my visual design. And in terms of the rationale and the problem they're solving, I think I'd go as far as giving that a 5.
I
It
agree with
solves a
you on
good
that.
problem,
Yeah.
especially if I guess one of the things I like to even conceptualize would be how this may impact like children, teenagers. Maybe this could be used as a tool to hopefully get them into reading.
Okay, so design number 2. I'm just going to read out the rationale and then we can start looking deeper into the design. Hey, the monthly design challenge theme is all black everything in line with Black History Month. After some thought around what to design, I came up with an application called Dreams, not the bed shop. The idea was inspired by Yelp and is mainly focused around the idea of finding Black-owned businesses and organizations to support. I designed a few simple UI pages: splash screen, onboarding, sign up, login, enable location, and landing page. Awesome. Okay. I think for me, off the bat, what I really like about this design is I like that for each page, I can see a level of consistency between each of them in terms of how the buttons have been created. So I think that's really, really cool. I think typography is great as well. Seeing
Yeah,
a couple of weights in there. I may even be seeing a favorite font in there as well, which I think is good.
that level, attention to detail is really sick. If I can use that adjective in 2021. I think that's awesome. I like the fact that this design is, bolder, went with two different, forms of typography, well, two different typefaces, a serif and a sans serif based one. Um, Personally, I always struggle to incorporate the two, and they've done a really good job here. Even the use of colors, I can tell that they were really intentional. I get that sense they specifically didn't want to deal with a huge palette, and I guess going in the theme of our brief, I think they've done an awesome job here. In terms of accessibility, I think just going from splash screen to early onboarding, I think they've done an awesome job here. I guess in this sort of scenario, I think we could highlight this. Well, we could fill this color in a bit more to just emphasize that this is the next page. The button in itself is really. It looks like it's easy to see what's going on. These all look like they're a really good sign. They've also used, the little eye tool. I've never known what that was actually called, but like the little eye tool,
I
so you
actually
can see
have
your
no
password.
idea. Yeah.
There's a load of things in design that have words, but I won't know the words. I just know what they're there for functionally. But they've used really nice icons that indicate what the user is supposed to input. I think that's really good. It would actually be great to see an error state if there were one, but I'm not going to judge off the fact that there isn't. It may be difficult in terms of seeing that this is this heart and this is 10 miles away. Maybe having a location icon would help here. 5 out of 5 in terms of accessibility in my eyes.
Okay, so from a visual design perspective, in terms of the content, as in like the main features that it's, your shopping, they've kept that front and center. Yeah, even like when I look at the nav bar as well, all those icons look consistent to me. And once again, they've included like states as well, which I think is great. I'm gonna go with a 4.5 for the visual design.
Very strong, very, very strong. I'd say in terms of brief, put it this way, I've not seen it done before. I don't think we have one, so yeah, 5. I'm just gonna give it a 5 because I could see the use for it, especially with things like Black Pound Day.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's really good actually. It reminded me of, is it UK Jamil? Have you heard of
UK
it?
Jammy, is
Jam,
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
UK Jammy, yeah.
Because I think they don't have an app, so I think it's like web-based only. So
Yeah.
I guess that would work quite well if there were to be an app. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so hello. Here's my submission for the All Black Everything Challenge. My interpretation of the challenge, make a design using all black. For the design, color black can be associated with mystery, power, elegance, sophistication. Oh, I like that. In contrast, black could mean sadness or anger. Black could also be linked to death, mourning, evil, magic, and darkness. For this challenge, black meant mystery, evil, magic, and darkness for me. This is a 3-in-1 design. It covers for my daily UI challenge 8, 404 page, seasoned design, Halloween, and also all black everything design challenge. I made use of black in various tints and shades using Figma plugin, using the Figma plugin tints and shades. I've never come across it. Cool. To generate the respective tint and shade for color black, 6 zeros. Also AA, also AAA color contrast requirements were met. I like the attention to detail. That definitely leads on to accessibility straight away.
I guess, since they met AAA, to be honest, there's probably only one thing we can score it, which is a 5,
But you know what?
I feel like a lot of designers I sometimes come across is that something that they kind of want to shave off, and I feel as if we should aim for AAA. Do you know what I mean? So I like that they've thought about that and they've met it. So yeah, definitely a 5 in accessibility.
In terms of visual design, however, from a visual standpoint, I think even the use of typography within the call to action, it not being the sans serif font, makes it feel a little edgy. And the main text within the error page in itself is already a bit spooky. So I think they've done a really good job. I love this bit here. The eyes within the word room, that is creative. I give them that. What I definitely recommend is just some feedback. 404 pages are usually related to web projects, websites, as apps won't have a 404 page. However, you could always do an error page, whereas if the app broke one day, this is an error page. So I guess if we pretend it's not a 404 page and this is an error page, to make an even more accessible design in some way, just letting people know what's gone on, plain English, even if there's like a little subtext where it says, okay, that broke. Here you go, just go back. I wish there was more to it. I'm going to give it a 4, but I wish there was more to it.
So from their rationale, I get it. It makes sense, especially with the whole like Halloween theme, and it definitely does tie into the original challenge, which is all black everything. It would have been nice to have, I guess, maybe like a bit more context. So I think from a story perspective, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
I was going to give it the same thing, a 3.5. I think if there was a bit more design, I think, this designer is a really crafty storyteller, and I'm sure they've got a bright future ahead of them. I think this design is awesome.
Hey, this is my submission for the competition. I created this concept of a food delivery app which exclusively promotes African and Caribbean cuisine, Afro Eats. All black everything to me meant create something that's centered around the culture. This is also an app that needs to exist soon and something I would personally use. I took my design inspiration from Figma templates and food delivery apps that already exist. For me, off the bat, I love that. I love that this designer has centered their exploration in what already exists in the market. You don't always have to like reinvent the wheel. You can just use existing components and then create something entirely new. And they've centered this on African and Caribbean cuisine, which is awesome.
I love the name. That name is so funny. Great fun. At the moment, because they're not exported and it's a screenshot, they're a bit pixelated, which makes it a little harder to judge, but we're going to do our best. In terms of accessibility, from what we could see so far, this does look like it may fail AA standards, just on how little contrast there may be. But again, it's a bit difficult to tell from here. However, these buttons these call to actions are really like a fairly decent size, and they should be easy to navigate. The search. I'd go as far as popping the search within the the navigation at the bottom or the tab at the bottom, simply because, as you can imagine, Contextually in an app like this, search is really important. So to have it further away from a user, it may cause a bit more of an annoyance for some users, but pop it at the bottom and you should be good. What would be great here would be some placeholder text, just so people have an idea of what they can search. I think the chevron should be a bit bigger, as you can imagine. If it's an important part of the navigation throughout the app, the user is going to want to know what that looks like really clearly and be able to interact with it as easy as possible. What I'd say as well is screen real estate is really important on mobile devices. It's always important, but especially on mobile devices. Don't feel like you have to include branding within your application. You could free up some more space and you could potentially have big buttons that way. Red text on this background, I can imagine it may cause some issues. For this, I'm going to score it a 3 in terms of accessibility. There's some really strong aspects of accessibility design implemented already, but there'd be some things that could be tweaked really easily.
From a story perspective, I think they've explained this very well. It makes sense. I think the execution is really good as well. I like that they haven't interpreted all black everything as a color and more of a community perspective. So I think that's really interesting. If I want to go over 4.5 story wise,
I'd agree. That's a strong one. Visual design wise, I think this designer's got a really creative eye. That's a strong point. I can imagine they've even designed their own iconography here, or the branding. So I'm giving it, that bit more. Some of the things that I definitely want you to strengthen up on would be, the spacing, the padding on the sides and stuff. But aside from that, honestly, you've got a really creative design eye, and I'm guessing this person maybe earlier in their UX UI journey, but as they strengthen up, they're going to be a problem. And I think they've done a really excellent job here. I'm giving visual design 5. This is creative. Cool. So we have a winner. The person who designed Dreams, the product Dreams has won. They have an almost perfect score of 14.5. Well, 14.5 out of 15. So there's going to be a £50 Amazon gift voucher sent your way. Habib, congrats to yourself. I've just been given the name in the magic envelope, the virtual one. So congrats on your, hard work and effort. I think it's been awesome. Proud of you, man. In terms of the runners-up, we have, calculated the numbers and done all the crunching, and everybody else got 12.5. And because it's so hard to, judge, we're not going to go back on the numbers because we felt that those were really accurate for the situation. Everyone who came runners up, so the next 3 designers, they will be getting a £25 Amazon gift voucher sent their way. So congratulations to you all, and thank you for taking part. It's been a pleasure from myself. If you have any questions in terms of UX UI, I can try to reply. However, we have a community and a team of people that can definitely help at Love Circular, so feel free to reach out to us. But it's been a pleasure for myself, Zaire.
Honestly, really, really cool work, really, really cool concepts, cool designs, and I just can't wait to see, what the rest of you all come up with. So yeah, it's been a great pleasure marking it.
Until next time.
Peace out.